Chapter 23. Confessions all around. "They asked Koda where you were," Atsura explained the situation as they sped-walked through the courtyard, trying their best to locate his parents before it could get any worse. Yin had to hold the ends of her dress as she followed him through the crowds of people, nearly tripping on little children as they ran by. They asked, "Where is Mr. and Mrs. Midoriya?" And of course, Koda was confused, so told them that Teach wasn't married to begin with. "Shit," Yin cursed. "Then Koda ran to me and told me that they were looking for me, so I ran away before they could find me. 'Cause, you know." "Atsura, we're fucking screwed, you know that, right?" Yin grabbed his wrist, forcing him to stop. She breathed heavily to catch her breath, her expression sad. "It's over." "It's not," Atsura retorted, his face panicked. It can't be." "Atsura, I'll just find someone else with the creation quirk and get them to make you two a ring." "Atsura, and I'll say that Koda was recently into an accident, so he has amnesia." "Atsura!" Yin shouted, his lips sealing. He bit the inside of his cheek, looking up at the sky as he blinked tears away. "This can't happen. Why are they even here? We made it so far. Why?" "Atsura, You don't get it, Yin." He dropped his chin to his chest, clenching his fist at his side. Confused, she watched him tremble with both anger and disappointment. "I can't be taken away from UA. I have to become a hero. Otherwise, you would have done this all for nothing." "The marriage thing wasn't that terrible. We were willing to do it for you." "No, not just that." He seethed back tears. You let me live out here with you so I could become the best of the best. I need to see this through, because I know you're counting on me. You're only here to see my dream become a reality." "What are you talking about?" "You probably wanted to be with Toji," he whispered. Her face fell, her heart pinching, not at the sound of his name, but at the tone of Atsura's voice, so raw, upset, heartbreaking. "You loved him so much. He was your best friend, and it was so hard for you. I know it was. And you're only here because of me. So I can't be a fucking failure. Otherwise I'll make you suffer through that grief for nothing. And I know you probably don't feel like you had to, but to me, I just can't let you down. Even if there was a different reason for you to keep on living." She watched as crystal teardrops fell from his eyes, staining the concrete below him. "It's true. Part of the reason I'm even still here is because of you," she admitted quietly. "Losing Toji hurt so much to the point that every day felt like I was suffocating. I couldn't get out of bed. I barely ate. I cried all the time. It sucked. But the other reason was because if I went and joined Toji, because life was too painful to live without him, then his sacrifice would have been for nothing." Atsura looked up, the corners of his eyes red. "So I kept living, even though it sucked. I found distraction in work. Then, you said you wanted to move in with me to attend UA. And I knew that my life would be a little better knowing family was a lot closer to me. But I realized that living your life for someone else's sake is no better than dying." His eyes widened, fresh tears spilling over his cheeks. "I thought I had found my reason to keep living. I worked my ass off. hoping I would prove to myself that the reason Toshi died was because of his kindness, and not because he saw me as weak. But in reality, I just felt consumed by guilt. I was never trying to live. I was trying to atone. Guilt was the only thing that kept me moving. And then you moved in, and all I wanted to do was be there for you. But I knew that I had no purpose for you. Sure, you looked up to me, but you're much stronger than you were as a kid. You realistically would be fine without me. But I kept living because I felt I had to do for someone else until he wanted you to keep on living, not out of guilt, not to atone, and not as some form of punishment, but because he loved you. That's why he saved you. Not to keep living for him, but for you. All it took was one person to tell me that Toji saved me, for me, not for himself. She said with a shaky laugh, the sound bittersweet as her eyes filled with tears. I spent so long believing that the only way to honor him was to live like I owed him every breath I took. But that was stupid, wasn't it? Her voice cracked. He knew she was trying her best to hide her tears, but sooner or later, she wiped at her eyes with the back of her hands. Toji could have called me an idiot for thinking that. He told me to stop wasting my life on guilt and just live. Teach told you that, didn't he? Yes. She smiled sadly. He did. It's because of him that I don't wake up with a heavy heart anymore. I don't look down on people who treat me with kindness. I don't avoid looking at pictures of Toji. I don't wince when his name is mentioned. Instead, I thank Toji for allowing me to continue my morning jogs, to hit and yell at you when you make me mad, to teach the students at this school and make them fight better. When they walk in and out, I know they are different. And for letting me find someone that I love. Atsura frowned, throwing his arms around Yin tightly. She hugged him back, hiding her crying face in his neck. So please, Atsura, continue to do what you want for yourself. Don't feel like you owe me anything. Fight for yourself. Stand up to your parents for yourself. Because your dream to be a hero was originally a dream you had for yourself. You wanted to be the greatest. Just like All Might. Just like me. Because you wanted to be strong and confident. That hasn't changed, has it? No, it hasn't, he cried. I'm sorry, Atsura. I didn't know that you were so worried all over this because of me. It's okay. You couldn't have known. He pulled away, Yin laughing at him slightly. She wiped tears from his cheeks, shaking his shoulders. Pull yourself together, Lieutenant. We have suspects to catch. He lightly laughed, wiping his runny nose. You're right. Izuku found an empty classroom, letting out an exhaust sigh as he walked towards the window. He originally went to check on his homeroom to see how the haunted house was going, but ended up being mobbed by phones and screaming girls who were in love with his prince costume. He opened the window to let the breeze in to cool him off. Oh, what a day, he whispered. There you are. His posture straightened, Izuku turning over his shoulder to see Rinya and Azuru opening the classroom door and greeting him with an unreadable expression. They looked pleased to see him, but something else was bothering them. Mrs. and Miss Suzumi, I had no idea the two of you were here, his voice cracked. We came to surprise Atsura, but can't seem to find him at all. Rinya pouted. She then gave him a stern, firm grin. Yeah. Where's your wife? Oh, wife? Oh, Yin is changing out of her costume. We just did a talent show. I see, Azure muttered, his eyes flickering to Izuku's hand and back to him. Is there a reason you two aren't wearing your wedding ring? Izuku's eyes widened in panic, glancing down at his left hand. Oh, I didn't want to lose it during the show. How much longer do you plan to keep up this lie? Renya asked. The air between Izuku and the mother felt like it had been struck out of the room. Renya's eyes began to glow suddenly, making his stomach churn and goosebumps form on his arms. This must be your quirk. I can't resist it. I'm sorry. Izuku let out an exhausted sigh, leaning his back against the window sill as he threw his hands over his chest. Renya's eyes returned to normal, her face disappointed. Go on. It's true. Ian and I aren't married. We actually only met a few weeks before the two of you came to visit. Azure pinched the bridge of his nose angrily. Wow. How easy it was for the two of you to lie to us, Renya scoffed. But Izuku continued, pushing off the window and taking a few steps forward. He was still unable to meet their gaze, guilty and afraid, but didn't notice the slight shocked expression on both of them. I love Yin. Oh? Renya questioned. It's true we came together to lie in order to help Atura continue pursuing his dream as a hero. But the more time I spent with her, the more I felt this unfamiliar feeling blooming inside me. It happened so suddenly, but slowly at the same time. And that feeling finished blooming when I made out after the two of you left. I miss coming home and seeing her. I miss waking up and looking beside me to see her fast asleep. I miss eating meals together. I miss taking morning runs. Because at school, I only get pieces of her. And that's not enough for me anymore. I want all of her. If it's true that you love her, Renya said, what is the one thing that you love most about her? Her eyes. Her eyes? They remind me of dewdrops. They shimmer with brown, green, and blue. But it's not just about the color. It's what they hold. Ian struggles to see herself the way others do. She thinks she's selfish or mean or never enough. But her eyes, they give her away. They're so kind, so full of light. Even when she's sad, even when she's hurting, they never lose that gentleness. It might be cruel to say, but since they only look that way as a result of her quirk, but I think they are beyond beautiful and capture her true nature in the best way. When Izuku finally looked up, she saw Yin and Atura standing in the doorway behind his parents, their mouths hanging open. Yin's face flustered. Izuku's heart dropped as their eyes fell to each other, his face turning red. I didn't mean to confess right in front of her. Loving this little love fest right now. Atura smiled at his teacher with a teasing grin. He walked between Izuku and his parents, facing his mother and father with pleading eyes. Listen, Mom, Dad, please don't be mad at them. I'm the one that begged them to lie for me. But please, you can't pull me out of UA. We aren't going to, Azure stated. Atura froze. And here I had a whole speech planned. But the contract. We knew from the beginning that Yin was never married. Renya shrugged with a laugh. All we had to do was call her parents and ask. You called my parents? Ian's mouth dropped. Yep. The day before we came to visit, we just wanted to see how long this lie would go on for. Wait, so you're not mad? Atura asked curiously. Renya hit him in the side of the head, then tugged at his ear. Of course we're mad. You lied to us. You know how we feel about lies. Ow, Mom! But she eventually let go of him, Atsura rubbing the side of his head as he pouted. The decision you went through to fool us is pretty impressive. You truly want to become a hero, Atsura? Yes, more than anything. Fine, we'll allow you to continue school here. Azure gave in. Atsura's eyes sparkled with disbelief. Do you mean it? We do. Renya nodded. I'll admit, we came to visit because we want to find a reason to bring you back home. Hero work is so dangerous, but you'd come home and talk about all the wonderful things you do at school. And you seem so motivated and happy. We would feel like bad parents to strip you away from that. We may not support your dream to become a hero, but we will support you 100%. As long as you put your everything into it, and you stay safe. Azru patted his son's head happily. I will. I promise. And we'll come and visit one weekend of every month as to check in. Renya insisted, then turned to Yin. We'll pay for the groceries and stuff, of course. Fine by me, Yin said quickly, making them laugh. Let's go, Atsura. Show us around the festival. We didn't come here for nothing. Renya ruffled his hair as the family left the room. All right. Atsura whined as they walked by Yin. He leaned into her ear and whispered, Go get him, tiger. She lifted her hand, threatening to hit him. He squealed, cowering after his parents. She turned back to Izuku, his face deep shades of red. He couldn't even seem to meet her gaze. Suddenly, she was having a difficult finding the words, the right ones. A part of her believed he might have developed feelings for her too, but she didn't think that he loved her. Love is so strong, overwhelming emotion. Is that what he felt for her? But why? Midoriya, I found him! Yin was suddenly being trampled by young girls who ran to Izuku with cameras and pink cheeks. Mr. Deku, can we take a picture? Mr. Deku, that print outfit looks so cute on you. Wait a minute. Izuku stammered, trying his best to calm them down. When he looked over the crowd, he saw Yin leaving the room. He panicked, but he couldn't move through the sea of girls in time to stop her. Sigh. Poor Midoriya. Hello everyone. So this is technically the third of the last chapters, which is really sad because I love this story so much. But a lot of people have been suggesting series, so I am looking for those right now. I will have to go back through comments to find all of them. But I do have some amazing suggestions that I am taking accountable for. And by the way, once again, these are series. I'm not writing them. They will be in the description of the author and such and such. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Love you all. Mwah!